Thank you so much for speaking. Thank you so much for speaking to me. This season is absolutely exhilarating. But I
Thank you
want
so
to talk.
much, Dana.
I
Thank you.
want to talk a little bit about the first season, just a little bit.
Sure.
Um, what First of all, what I love about this season is the fact that it starts almost immediately. We don't
Yes.
have to wait to catch up on the action, especially with Astra. What was the decision behind that?
To just start immediately, right?
Yeah,
To pick up season two right after season one.
immediately.
Um, you know what? We want the show, we want the audience to feel like they are trapped on the lighthouse. That they are trapped on the beacon with our characters. That they are going through the same experience. I think there's an immediacy to the storytelling. So, I didn't know, you don't know when you make these episodes when a streamer is going to release them or whatever. But we were just like, let's just throw the audience right into it, and just boom, hit the ground running, and they'll just have to catch up and figure it out. And I trust the audience to go along for that ride. So it just felt like that was the decision. It just you sort of sometimes you think about some of these decisions, and sometimes you're just like, yeah, we just got to go by feel, and we're just going to start hot. And that's what we did with this one.
Do you feel that Astra was a victim of her own circumstances, or was it something that was completely beyond her control?
I think it's both. I think she was put in difficult circumstances, but I wouldn't say she was a victim. I would say
Mhm.
that she misread the situation. She trusted the wrong people. I do think she is a person who trusts. I think we'll learn more about her character in season two. We'll find out why she trusts certain people, why she doesn't trust other people. We'll learn more about her family background. So we spent a lot of time in season two making sure that that we come to a fuller understanding of that character.
Hmm. Will there be a lot of use of flashbacks? Because I noticed in season one it wasn't flashback heavy.
I don't want to give anything away,
Okay.
but I will say that there are several key flashbacks to Aster that will um, really kind of fill in new information and new elements about her.
Okay. So another thing for this season, season two, we dive a bit more into AI and that
Yes.
kind of technology. One is I wanted to know, how do you balance that with also the human story? Because we look at it, these are machines, but also it's helping with the human story. So how do you find that balance?
Well, it is about it, in this world, a lot of the AI comes from the character of Aleph. Aleph is a human who becomes an AI. So the AI has roots in humanity. It has personalities. We don't play a cold, calculating, evil AI who is just, so everything is tied. So the everything is tied back to humanity. So that sort of helped us because the AIs had personalities. The AIs had wants. They had needs. They weren't just like in a typical sci-fi show out for control, or out for order. They had as many problems as our humans, and they were. It was fun to write. It was kind of different, and it was fun to explore.
So also in season two, a character does state that, everyone's expendable. So what I wanted to know is how do you make sure that everyone's journey of self-discovery matters this season?
Well, I think I think you make sure that everybody's journey is valuable. That's a great question. Let me think about the answer here. You make sure that everybody's journey is valuable if we understand the emotion that each character is feeling, and if the audience feels that too, we're emotionally invested. So a lot of our characters are dealing with trauma and they're trying to close themselves up, but now they're trapped together, they're desperate, they have needs, they force themselves to become open, or one person forces the other person to open up or something. So as they come together, they become more vulnerable, and that's what gives the story meaning. Otherwise, so that because we're feeling their pain, we're feeling their joy, we're feeling their sadness, their grief, they're feeling it. And so we I don't believe have any characters that, are used as just plot devices. It's grounded in emotion. And so that so that's the takeaway. If it was just, you know, an action show or something, or a sci-fi show in which, the stakes were all about plot or about, preventing the war or something like that, where if the stakes were too big, we wouldn't care. So the fact that it's a very personal story about these people trapped in this room, I think it plays.
One of the things I was interested in is this is also a story about isolation, as you hinted before. When
Yes.
creating this, do you kind of write or imagine the internal monologues a lot of these characters go through?
Yes. Well, let me say, first of all, the show is based on a novel by Hugh
Mhm.
Howey, and it was created by a writer named Zach Penn. So I was working on season one, and I became the co-showrunner for season two, and so I just want to, so I did not create the show. I'm
Right.
building on the foundation that Zach and Hugh created. Um, you do think about those characters. You do think about that interior monologue. You think about um, how isolation is a strain on people. How we definitely discussed as writers issues of mental health, of what is the character going through, about how other people, we have Ellen Wong's character Iris is introduced in season two. What does she do to keep herself healthy? And we spent a lot of time talking about people's interior states and interior monologues. We did, yes.
So, also going off with the new characters for this season, what would you say are some of the themes that they bring in that we haven't seen in the first season?
Well, I think the new characters, and we have a lot of new characters that come in at
Mhm.
different points, right? Have you seen the entire season or just the first few episodes?
I saw the entire, yeah. I
Okay,
didn't want
great.
to
So you
spoil like a
see,
lot of things. Yes.
no, but you see, there's a lot of people coming in or whatever.
Mhm.
So I think, the common theme is about humanity needs humanity to survive. We need each other. Somebody cannot really go it alone. And so there might be shifting alliances, there might be shifting um, um, partnerships, but it's about people coming together to help each other stand up, to lean on each other. That there's a heart to the show. It's not about political power in which I'm, oppressing you or you're oppressing me or something. It's about humanity, clinging to each other. They're trapped in a lighthouse. In a way, we kind of feel like it's a life raft. And there's literally an episode in the middle of the season in which we dramatize a life raft, and it's about people holding on to each other, and it's about that human connection. That physical touch is an element is a theme in the show. We spoke to a particular director, had, there's a visual language in one of the episodes about who's touching who's not being touched. So we paid a lot of attention to that, and I would think that if we're ever going to be out there on the edge of the stars, like in this show or other shows. I'm interested in seeing how people still, as they do today, try to find meaning in their lives, and how they try to take that meaning out to other places. It's not just about power or domination, it's about connection. And I think if you look at the entire season, what you come to is moments of connection. So that was something we discussed a lot. We made sure that at every stage of the filmmaking process, we paid attention to that. And if I could just expand on that, what was interesting and special about this particular season was, after we finished shooting, we go through a lengthy post-production process, and I was trying to get everything done before the Writers Guild strike.
Right.
But so I had to prep the crew, the post team and visual effects and sound and the composers and everybody, and then they came together and they led the way, because I had to go out on strike. And then I come back 5 months later, and it was beautiful the way that they crafted this show in my absence, and I just could look at it as a fan. And I was involved in the last few episodes coming together, but there was something in a way that the way the show came together and the show itself, it was like they were metaphors for each other, or they reflected upon each other in some emotional way. So this season was a very emotionally important season to me. This is, yeah, I hope it's thrilling, I hope it's exciting, I hope fans dig it, all of that kind of stuff. The same I would say for, but this season of TV was different from anything else I've worked on. It was more creatively challenging, and it was more heartfelt. It was really a beautiful experience.
Well, thank you for sharing that, and thank you for sharing the show with us as well. Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much for talking to me.
Appreciate it. Thank you.